How's it going, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name is Daryl and I am out here in the workshop today, and it's a cold Monday morning here in southern Illinois, and I thought I'd come out here to the shop and take a look at my radio setup here on my desk and make some changes here. While it's cold out, I decided just to come in here and get out of the house and kind of move around a little bit and get warmed up. It's not very warm in here today. It's 60 degrees in here, 25% humidity. I don't have a humidifier out here, and so far the cats are letting me get something done. So I can crank up the heat hotter if I wanted to, but I'll just keep it at 60 and try to save some money. So anyway, I thought I'd come out here and make some changes to my radio setup out here. There's some things about it I don't like. And I don't spend a whole lot of time out here with it, but when I do want to be here at this radio desk here, I want to have things laid out the way I want it. So let's turn the camera around and I'll show you what I got going on. All right, we are in front of my radio desk here. And you guys remember a long time ago, you know, all the things that I've done out here. I've explained this before. This is my desk track. It's a VHF Astro Spectra radio in the desk track. And I like it for the most part. It's not a dual band radio. It would be nice if the desk track had a place to put in like if you had a VHF here and a UHF here, and maybe the speaker on top or something like that. Or I have speakers that I mounted up there on the wall to accept these Astro Spectras or any radio I wanted to plug into it, really. But I don't use them that much. I had them up high so when I'm working in the shop I can hear them better. But anyways, I like this, but it's not doing everything I want it to do. First, as you know, it doesn't have a VFO, so I have to program all the frequencies I want to use into it. And if I want to veer off of that, then I can't, because it doesn't have a VFO, or no way for me to just front panel or front keyboard, or like the keyboard and the mic. There's no way for me to input a frequency and then save it to memory. This radio here, the Alinco DR135 Mark II, that of course is running my APRS Digipeater iGate. Sorry, I got a little bit of a funky throat today due to being outside shoveling yesterday, I think. I don't know. And then over here I have my trusty Radio Shack Pro 2066 that I use for pretty much listening to aviation. And then my modem here for running the iGate. So what I want to do is I brought my Yaesu FTM 300 out here, or sorry, 500D out here, and it's kind of getting demoted out here. I don't really use this radio very much, and there's no sense in it just sitting on my ham shack downstairs, not being used. So I figure, well, if I bring it and set it in here, get rid of the desk track and put that radio in here, that'll give me a dual band radio plus the VFO. So that'll be nice. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to remove this stuff, take it out and rearrange everything, and bring the 500 over here and mount that in here. I think I'm going to mount the 500 up on top of here, and then get rid of this, and maybe take this power supply and put it down here, and maybe keep this radio up here too. And so I have a radio here and a radio here. And I should find a place to put this thing here. I had it out when I was doing the repeater project. It really doesn't need to be out. And it doesn't have an antenna. I don't have anything. I want to put something. I know you guys probably can't see out there with the sun shining off the snow, but directly out here, I want to put some kind of vertical or something out there. That was kind of a plan to put a tower out there, and it's still not off the possibility list, but to put a tower out there for HF, and then keep my other tower just for VHF, UHF kind of stuff like that. So we'll see. So anyway, that's what the plan is right now, is to rearrange this thing. Since it's cold outside, I don't have really anything else to do that I want to do. And we will change this thing around a little bit. Now, before I start, I'll give you, well, I see the cats have tossed down my Raspberry Pi. That's another reason too. Try to clean it up for the cats, make it a big mess, and it's dirty down there. So everything from the power supply here comes back to this rig runner, and I portion out the power from there. So everything will be connected back in there like it is. So let me get busy. I'm going to change this around a little bit, then I'll come back and we'll take a look at what I'm doing. So, just kind of get everything out of the way first, and then I'll bring it back a little bit at a time. So let's get this Raspberry Pi out of here too. Let's see, maybe I can just set this up here on the window ledge for now and get this up out of here. I don't want to drop something on it and smash it or something, who knows. So let's take this radio out for now. And this is going back to here. All right, let's get rid of the power supply. That. And get this out of here. That there. And look at how big this desk track is. You can also see why I want to kind of redo this a little bit. It takes up a lot of room. Okay. Let's get this out of here. All right. I think I got everything loose. All right, we got a spider under there. I think that baby's still alive. See it right there? So let's get the vacuum over here, and we'll vacuum this all up, and I'll come back after that. We'll get rid of the spider. Well, I got the desk all cleaned off here. Got all the dirt out of here. Got the brown recluse vacuumed up. He was still alive. He or she, whichever. Probably a she. And I got that all cleaned up. Got my computer kind of cleaned up a little bit. I got to clean this part here and maybe go over the keyboard a little bit and get it spruced up a little bit. It's hard to keep things clean when you're got a woodworking shop in here too, trying to keep all the dust off of everything. So anyway, I got that all done. So now it's time to start putting things back. So, and you can see I got a helper here. So anyways, I got to clean this off, and then you can see where I had a control head mounted there before. So I'm probably going to mount the radio, the 500, the Yaesu FTM 500, mount it there where those holes are at somewhere. And we'll just see how I like it. I really don't know. It's made to be changed around. I don't mind change. I don't mind changing things around when I want to, so that's part of the whole fun of it. So let's make it work a little bit better than it was. So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, this stuff gets real dirty. So at some point I'll probably, well, we already worked on this thing. I got to a point with this power supply, if it blows up again, I think I'm just going to replace it with something else. I'm not, as you know, I'm not a big fan of this power supply. So let's see if I can get my power plug back in again. When I plug one in, try to plug the other one in, the other one comes unplugged. All right, I got it. So let's look for the power. All right. So That'll go there. Yeah, it's not quite the... Yeah, it's not the best setup here. I really hate this thing. I really considered just putting a shelf across this, like continuing on, if you can see, continuing my workbench top across to here. And then, but that'll just make a cubby worth, it just gets dirty. Or just get rid of this and come up with something else. I really don't know. This is not a long-term, it wasn't supposed to be a long-term thing here. Like I wasn't going to keep it like this forever, but I'm telling you, things go so slow for me, it's kind of hard to figure out what I want to do. So let's clean this off a little bit, get a little of the dust off of it. And yeah, so I'm thinking that it's going to go here. Now the problem with this thing is, I'm going to have a hard time, like when I'm walking around and looking down, it's hard for me to see the displays on things. So I have to kind of sit down in my chair to see what I'm looking at. So I'm hoping I'm going to like this. So that can go, this can go here. And then, let's see. Then I might, let's see, if I move this over here, keep this up here. So I'm going to dry fit here and see where I like stuff. And maybe my scanner can go here. Keep that up there like that. Can you see it? Yeah. So it kind of looks like that. What will I put down there? Probably this. Put that in there. Yeah. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. So I don't, this just stays on for the APRS Digi. I'll have this, and this I turn on. So what will be running all the time is this, but I don't have a mic. I don't need a mic for that. So yeah. So then I'll put the 706 down here. And then when I get, the problem with that is having this stuff low like this, it's hard for me to see the screen. Like if I'm walking by, if I'm sitting on the chair, whatever, then of course I'll be able to see the screen, but I don't know. I think that's why I'm going to do it. So let me work on this a little bit, and then I'll get these two mounted. I'm just going to flip this around, mount it to the wood, take the bracket off of here, and get that mounted. And I got to come up with some screws for that. And get those mounted down, and we'll go from there. Well, after a lot of looking, I've come to the realization that I don't have a PL259 to N female adapter. So I won't be able to operate this radio until I find one. Do I have one? Probably. Is it on a repeater somewhere? Probably. You know, you steal all this stuff out of your own stock to keep these repeaters running, and then you forget that to replace them. So yeah. So anyway, so nothing to go on that. So I could cut this off and put a PL259 connector on that, but I'm not doing it. So SL239 to N female I don't have. So we'll just mount this thing. So over here, I got the radio pretty much set where I wanted it, and then right here in this edge here is lined up with the edge of this tape. So when I pull this thing off, I will get this edge lined up with here and then square it to the cabinet. And I can see that I'm missing a screw. That's a pet peeve of mine. I got this radio from somebody else, and one of the mounting screws is missing. Yeah, I have a whole little drawer that I have, a little drawer unit with a compartment that has mounting screws from radios that I pitched or whatever. So I try to keep some spares, but I don't have nothing like that. So we'll just have to do with 3. So yeah, I'll put you guys back over here so you can see what I'm doing. And we'll go from there. So anyway, I got my trusty 7mm Craftsman wrench here, so we'll take this bracket off. And yeah, I don't have a screw like that. So we'll just have to go with 3. So this will be, I wonder how long I'll like this setup until I don't like it. That's usually the way it goes. So, I think this goes in the back, right? Or no, this goes in the front. So, I want this thing about right here. So I'll put a screw in, and I'll square it, and then we'll go from there. So let's put our screw in. I know you guys can't see it. I should move you. Alright. How's that? I can't really see very well with the sun. I think you can see it. There you go. Alright. So then we'll take our trusty square. And I don't like that. Let's see how I'm going to do that. It's sliding underneath it. That's not good. Let's see. I guess it's good. It looks pretty good there. Yeah. I hope it's straight. I guess I could do this. 2 inches. 2 inches. Let's see. Yeah, it's 2 inches. Just push it just a little bit. Basically 2. And basically 2. Okay. Alright. And I put my punch down here. And get our hole started. And we'll get this screw in. Alright. Take our radio. Fun will be me trying to get these screws started again. 1. And 2. This goes in the little slot. So do I want to kind of tilt it up a little bit. So now I'll get my fingers in there. So let's do this. Maybe I can remove this radio. I do like this this mount that Yaesu has. I do like that. All right. Get that set the way I want it. Let's get these babies screwed down. All right. Get this back in there again. I do like this. Look at it. Bam! Nicely done. Okay, so I got 2 radios in here. And my scanner. Let's wipe this off a little bit. All right. Now, this feed line comes into here. And is it? No, it's this one. Let's see if I can get it started like this. Yeah, it's always something, right? All right, you win. Back out. I still don't know if I'm going to be able to get my fingers in there to get this started. Do you guys ever just do this? I'm sure everybody does. Just one day you just look at something and you decided you don't like it anymore. All right, so that's in. Put the Yaesu radio back in again. All right, now our scanner antenna can come over and that can be plugged in. All right, let's get rid of this tape. All right, now the Raspberry Pi is now got its wires all tangled up. So let's get rid of that. And just stick that back here. And this goes where? Into my Raspberry, into here. Into my, man, this is the part that I don't like. Is I'm gonna have to set this up here. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. So I think I'm going to have to redo some power cables here. All right, that's that. Now we find this, and that goes here. That plugs into there. And now I have to hook up power. So let me hook up the power and I'll come back and see if this whole conglomeration works. So I might have to make some longer cards, or longer power cables. Alright, so it's kind of messy. I don't really like this setup here. I should probably put the Raspberry Pi and everything down underneath here. Maybe that's what I use part of that space for. So let me mess around with that and we'll try to figure out what to do. I don't really like this. So I'll try something different, but I think I'm going to have to make a different power cable for this radio. Or I make up these little extensions with the with these connectors on it, the Anderson power pole connectors and little jumpers. So I'll have to find a jumper to go for this radio. And then this one here, this is its power. Let's find that. That goes in here. So this is ready. This needs power. This needs an adapter. So we're getting there. Power supply is working. All right, so let me look for two things. I go down to my ham shack and look for an adapter to this. Then I'll look for an Anderson power pole connector jumper for this. And then maybe I can get... Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Look at that. I know you can't see very well, but I found one from the other radio that's sticking out of my the rig runner already. So let's plug this in, and that'll give me power. Yeah! What the heck, Daryl? All right, it's back online. The APRS Digi iGate is back online again. All right, let me turn you around. All right, well, that's back online again. And the scanner is back online again. There we go. So now I need just one thing, and that's the adapter. And then this radio will be on the air. And I'll take my 706 and just shove it underneath here for now. And then maybe this summer, you guys can help me figure out what to do to get that thing on the air out here. I think I'm going to put up some kind of vertical. I don't want anything with any radios on it, because I want to put up a tower, and that's just going to get in my way while I'm digging. And I got a bunch of other things I want to do out in this part of the property, so I don't want to have that laid down. So I think I'll just get some kind of vertical that doesn't require any radials and go from there. And at least I can come out here and get on HF if I want to with the 706. So that is what is going to happen, I think. So let me stop. Oh, there's Bosco. Let me stop the camera here, and I'll go down and look for a connector, and then I'll come back. Well, after much searching, I was unable to find an adapter for this, believe it or not. And I was also not able to find a UHF connector for this either. So I had to order some, and So they're on their way. So I guess I'll just clip this off and save. If I cut this part, this crimped part off, I can reuse this connector again. And that's the reason why I like these connectors, is you have the dressing tool, and you can slide them on, then crimp this, and then if you want, of course, you can put the rubber boot on there. You can put shrink wrap on there, kind of like I have on this one here, and then you can just cut this little this thing off here, this crimp ring, and then you can pull this off and use this connector again. So no soldering done on that, but I don't have any of them. I ran out of those. I ran out of any adapter I would have had. So that's kind of a bummer. I can't get this radio on now until I get that here. So I'm going to have to, I already ordered for the connectors. That's was $114 shipped. And I don't use these junk connectors, you know, like you get at Hamfest and stuff like that. I don't use that kind of stuff like this. Use these. I like these. These connectors are nice. So that's what I use. But if you want to use those, that's no problem. I've used them for a long time, but I moved over to these Times microwave connectors, the easy connectors, and I just haven't looked back after that. I just really like them a lot, and I don't have to worry about any soldering or anything like that, so I do like it. Bosco says he likes it too, right, Bosco? So anyway, I got this redone here. I got the APRS Digi Raspberry Pi and modem down there, and everything's out of the way. So I don't know if I'll make another video on this. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing today. So let me turn the camera around and we'll talk a little bit more. Let's turn this around. All right, so okay. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what I was doing today. I'm not doing much anything. There's a lot of radios I have to work on, a lot of stuff to do. So I just thought I'd come out here with it being cold and snowy out, and I would try to make this look a little bit nicer. It's hard keeping it nice and clean because, you know, I'm around the saw all the time and stuff like that, and I got the cats going around. I was looking at this feed line coming in that I need the connector for, and I looked at the feed line, and Bosco most likely is the one who came over here and was biting on it. So that's not good, is it, Bosco? You need to stop doing that. But anyways, that's what's going on over here today, and I just, you know, it's kind of a bummed out day. I didn't do anything yesterday. I went out and got the tractor out and plowed the driveway out, and but I really haven't done much anything else. The shack, my shack down in the basement, it's kind of too cold to be down there right now, so I have been staying away. I got heat down there and all, but there's no insulation on the walls down there, and the foundation gets pretty cold in this kind of weather, so you're kind of fighting it. You're fighting the heat, trying to keep it heated down there. So anyway, so it's nicer out here than it is down there, so I thought, well, let's improve it out here, and maybe I'll get... It's been about 5 days since the last clip, and it's still cold out, and we want to get this radio running, so I ordered 3 of these connectors, and they were supposed to be here 2 days ago, and UPS can't seem to get them delivered, so I had to find a bit of coax that had one of these connectors on it, and I'm going to have to remove this crimp ring on here and reuse this connector so we can get our radio running. So anyway, these are the connectors here, and they're the Times microwave easy connector, and there's no soldering involved, but you can see the difference on the inside of these, how nice they are. Hopefully this is hey, don't buy my shirt. Hopefully this is focusing for you. And let me turn the camera around. I'll show you this. And I got a I got a cat right here with me. So here's our connector here. Here's our crimp ring, and you can buy these crimp rings separate so you can reuse these connectors over again. Usually I take a Dremel and just cut this off, and you don't want to go too far because you'll cut into the connector itself, but I cut that off. So I think this time what I'm going to do is my Dremel bit, my little saw is in need of replacement. So I think what I'm going to do is I've done taken it over to the grinder, the bench grinder before, and ground this down, but then you can't get really close to this area here. Hey, stop biting my shirt. So I think what I'm going to try is to get a small drill bit, take it over to the drill press, and just make a row of holes here and see if I can tear it off. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to show you it because it may fail. So whatever I do, I'll show you what I'm doing afterwards before I try to rip it off, and we'll see what happens. But maybe I can do it without the Dremel. So let's work on that. All right, we have our connector here. It's all off and cleaned up. We have our dressing tool here, and we have our end connector that I'm going to remove. So I'm just going to cut it here and then put on the PL259 connector, and I'll come back when I get it on. Well, I have the PL259 connector on here, and I can see I didn't put any shrink tubing on. I didn't feel it necessary inside. There's two different connectors here for the easy connector. This is more of a heavy duty kind of connector, as you can see, and this is more of a light duty connector. Both are easy connectors, so there's no soldering. With this one, you can see it has these two ridges here, and that's for this weather protective boot. So instead of using shrink wrap or shrink tubing, you can use this weather boot and strain relief. So you put this on your coax, of course, beforehand, and they give you a little bit of lubricating grease to help slide it on the feed line. And then when you're done, you slide this in, and that's just snaps right into here, and then you got your strain relief / weather boot. So I use some of these outside, and they're nice. Really, when you do that, you have really no need to tape anything, but I go ahead and tape it all anyway, just to be on the safe side. So yeah, so we got that on. I'll stick this. We'll just take a look at it. I got the radio on medium power, and that's usually where I kind of keep it. Sometimes I have it on, a lot of times I run it on low power all the time. I'm close enough to the repeaters I work that I don't really need to be on high. So here we go. So I got my 50 watt slug in, and here it says 50 average. Now I can come through here and I can say deviation. I can say my minimum power that I transmitted, my maximum power, my PEP, and my average. So I'm going to have it on average, and 7. don't eat the part, 7. So I'll key it up, and 9 JOD testing. So you can see that I got 28 volts, or 28 watts. So we're doing good. So yeah, so this radio is ready to go. I like it. We're back on memory channel, so I can go around and see if I hear anybody. I do not. Let's leave it on 5.2 simplex. I like to leave it on 5.2 simplex when I'm out here a lot too, in case I hear somebody jumping in there. So anyway, 7, say hi. Don't be bashful. But yeah, we got that job done. All right. So we had a little fun out here today. It was a good little project to do. I needed to do it, and like I said, the weather's cold, so I decided to come out here and get this done today. So I like the new setup I have. 7. Come here. So yeah. So do you guys ever find yourself doing that, where you just look at your shack and just decide to make a big change? Like I said, this is not my main shack or anything. But it gets me by for what I want. I would really like to get HF out here in my shop, and then I'll have everything I think kind of covered that I want to cover. I think the only thing I'm missing is get this 220 antenna over here and get a radio in here for 220. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do, have that set up here. Just leave it on the calling channel maybe. I don't know. I don't think there's any real 220 repeaters. As you know, we're working on our own for the club. So hopefully we'll get that running this year. Get the 6 meter running. So I got lots of stuff to do. But anyway, thank you for being here today, and thank you for all my subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for being patient with me while I took a little time off to try to get these two animals raised enough to know that they're all doing okay. So they got all their operations over with, and they got all their fleas and their ear mites and everything taken care of. So they're really healthy. And at some point they won't be in the shop anymore. They'll be in the house. So we're slowly integrating them into the house. So we're bringing the dogs out here and the other cats and kind of getting them integrated together, getting them to know each other. So thank you for being here today, and we'll catch you on the next one.